What's going on, peoples? Al York Sports, TGI Fridays. Another Friday, man. We here, me and Sportsbook Jeff gonna talk to y'all. Two number ones just went down right now. One went down and one is losing by 14 with 7 minutes left. Shit is real in the field, man. This tournament is real. This shit's crazy real right now. TGI Friday, baby. Let me just get these names in, then I'm gonna talk to y'all. Let me make sure I get everybody in it, man. What's going on? What's going on? My man Suge Knight in the building as always. I see you, baby. Both number ones. One went down, Bama. And Houston not looking good. I need Houston to come back in 7 minutes. Not looking good. But I'm not going to count them out, man. I got them on a teaser, but I definitely had the Aztecs. So the Aztecs prevail. Bama going home. Steve Levine in the building, baby. Give me a minute, y'all. Yeah, man. Big Friday. Sweet 16 on this Friday started. One big upset, and then we have another potential upset with the Hurricanes up 14 points, 72-58, 6:58 left in the second half. Hope everybody tunes in. Me and Jeff got a lot to talk about today. I want to kind of open up the floor, too, for you guys to, ask me questions and, whatever you want, man. Just feel free, and, I'm going to answer y'all, man. Let me wait till more people come in, then we can start this terrific show, man. I just can't believe that Bama lost outright. I knew that the Aztecs would cover, but I didn't know they were going to, lose outright. Steve said, who let the dogs out? Yeah, man, so I'm going to start with the message of the day. Then we're going to get this fabulous show started. I'm just waiting for more people to tap in on this lovely Friday so I can talk to y'all, man. Me and Jeff Gerson could talk to y'all. Okay, let's get this beautiful Friday going. Let me put these Arnold Schwarzeneggers away, man. We're going to start off with the message of the day, man. When you working at a job, I bring up something similar not too long ago, but this ain't the same. You got to leave your bullshit at home. You can't treat people accordingly to the way you feel when you're working in a place of business. And the reason why I emphasize this, because I'm an ex-store owner, and I will holler at people that would mistreat, clients. You got to take care of your clients. You can't go to work with an attitude and take it out on people that got nothing to do with your attitude. Message of the day, Vanessa, if I lost you, is the message of the day. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to have an attitude and you're going to work, just call the fuck out. You don't need to stress your colleagues. You don't need to stress people that just come in and want to do business and you all stressed out. And then I had somebody tell me the other day, yeah, but Al, you don't know what she's going through. I don't give a fuck what she's going through. Salute to JK in the building, George Santiago. I don't care who's going through what. If you going through something, don't go to work. Just don't go to work. Because it's unfair to the potential clients that come in and your work peers to have to deal with your attitude because you don't know how to leave that shit at the door. That's the message of the day. I hope y'all build off of that. Let me play this and we're going to start this fabulous show. Al York Sports, TGI Friday, the raw truth. No drinking and driving, it's the fucking law. Y'all know what it is. I've been telling y'all this for like 9 years on fucking social media. No drinking and driving. Consequences really hurt. And with that, let's start the show, man. Let me give a shout out to my man Blue Chips. Happy birthday to Blue Chips. I don't want to say how old you are, but happy birthday. Go to YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Continue to put your comments and continue to let other people know, peoples. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, New York City, LES to the death. Nueva York. Shout out to Sam the Man, Am Studios, Price Tag Entertainment and Media. I love apparel. I love money apparel. Let me say it correct. My man will be calling me, yo, you forgot the money part. I love money apparel with the unquestionable Kes Warner, the unquestionable Devil Guard. Mech 1 Beats, as always, salute to my man, Mech 1. Much love to you, brother. Continued success. Bishop Beats, open sessions and giveaways. Like I always say, the more the merrier. And like I keep telling y'all, I'm going to have this handicap contest. I kind of prolonged it a little longer. I need to get a couple of things fixed up. But we will have a handicap contest on the Al York Sports Show. Okay, let's start the show. We're going to start off with sad news in the NBA. Legendary captain of the New York Knicks, star center W.Reed, has passed away at the age of 80 years old. Rest in peace to the pioneer, the OG, W.Reed. Average 18.7, 12.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists. Hall of Famer, 7 All-Stars, 2 chips, and 2 chips MVPs. Salute and rest in power to W.Reed. Other news. The Baltimore Ravens are starting to address certain stuff when they should be addressing the quarterback situation. But they went and picked up wide receiver Nelson Aguilar, who played with the champion Philadelphia Eagles, and signed him to a 1-year deal worth $3.25 million with incentives that could reach up to 6 M's. So Ravens addressing the wide receiver. But I think before you address anything, you better address that quarterback situation. Other news. Bad news in Philadelphia. We're going to go to the Diamond. Phillies, you're seeing on the building. Brian Ford in the building. I see y'all. Macho Pagan was going down. Philadelphia Phillies first baseman Ryan Hoskins needs surgery for a torn ACL after injury in his left knee on Thursday, fielding a ground ball. Real simple ground ball. No contact. Blew out torn an ACL. This is what I'm saying. A lot of these huge injuries, a lot of times are via no contact. It's fucking crazy how that happens. And hopefully he can come back during the season. But it looks like he's out for the whole 2023. Other news. LA Clippers star Paul George avoided torn ligament in his sprained right knee. I mean, if you've seen the play, I've seen it. When they were playing the Thunder, that knee went all the way in. I thought that was an ACL torn right there. Also, I'm going to go like this because this is a guy that actually his leg kind of snapped in half, you know what I'm saying, a couple years back. And the last thing he needed is some torn anything. So right now they're calling it a sprain, and hopefully that Paul George, PG-13, can come back. Average 23.8. 6.1 rebounds, 5.1 assists, and everybody knows how important he is to the Clippers. George is important, and I'm glad that he didn't tear anything up. Let him rest, let him heal, let him get better. Other news. One day after losing Devin Singleton, the Texans, the Buffalo Bills signed ex-Pats running back Damian Harris, an ex-Alabama guy, and Harris had 106 rushes, 462 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4.4 average. Singleton had kind of doubled the impact that he did. But Harris is a good fit for the Bills. But the Bills are really trying to get somebody in the draft. If they can get any star back at the draft, the Bills are going to be straight. You know what I mean? But picking up Harris is not a bad thing to kind of like fill in for Singletary, though Singletary had the way bigger year last year. Other news. Georgetown Hoyas. Here we go, Hoyas. Here we go. I want to hear that again. We haven't heard that since John Thompson ran the ship over there. And right now they picked up Ed Cooley, who became the Georgetown Hoyas coach after leaving Providence. I mean, Cooley, 12 years, 556 games, 334 wins, 222 losses, 60% winning percentage. This Ed Cooley can coach. I love this fit. And I'm telling you right now, there will be basketball again in Georgetown. And you're going to see Ewan Mourning, Reggie Williams. You're going to see fucking Alonzo Mourning. All of them are going to show up and show love because Cooley can coach. And he will bring basketball back to Georgetown. Other news. The Texans made two major moves in football, two major additions on offense, agreeing to a one-year deal with tight end Dalton Schultz of the Dallas Cowboys, real good tight end, and running back Devin Singletary, who the Buffalo Bills couldn't re-sign. Texans signed him, so now they got to go get their quarterback. And the Texans right now are building. If you remember last year, they had a lot of good players, but they couldn't coach them up, and they needed players in certain position. And right now, it's looking like they're starting to fill up. I can see the Texans at least winning 7-8 games, especially if they get a real top-notch QB. Sportsbook, where you at? I'm ready for you. Let's get this party started. I hope my image comes out this time, because a lot of people were complaining they ain't see my image the last time. They only heard my voice. Let me get my sportsbook in the building. What's going on, Jeff?
What's happening, Big Al?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything looking sweet right here from my side. I just hope that this image here stays when this video gets downloaded. And I know right now it's seeable because I can see it. Real quick, Jeff, number one got knocked off, Bama. You gave out San Diego State 7.5. I had San Diego State on a teaser, and we didn't need either or. They won outright. We kind of spoke about this before, but I got to give you the credit. You're the one that really seen the Aztec, the real team that could really disturb this kind of offense in Alabama. And you were definitely right on that. So I want you to touch up on that game. Bama was up early. Aztec just stood where, I told you, last 5-6 minutes, they butts get tight and they just stop you. They've been doing that shit all year, and they did it again today against Bama. So my question to you, or matter of fact, what do you have to say about the game? Let's go there.
I'll tell you, what I saw all year long out of San Diego State, if you really paid attention, like here in the West Coast in Vegas, we got to see them pretty much twice a week, being the Mountain West Conference.
Right.
And Mountain West Conference was very competitive this year. And when I watched those games, it just seemed like whenever they got hit in the mouth, San Diego State, they come back and hit you twice. They counterpunch you. They had this has been a team that's been building for a while, very senior oriented. You got some guys back for the 5th year, Mensa, 2-time player of the year. So they were a very mature team.
Facts.
Physical, mature team. And if you looked at what the team, and I said this before, and personally on the special, the team that's going to beat Alabama had to be a mature team that was physical. And that's exactly what happened here. You had a young freshman-oriented Alabama team that ran into Big Brother.
Yep.
And Big Brother put his foot down his throat.
All I'm saying is that early Bama was holding their own, but it almost felt like the Aztecs were filling them out. Like you said, they are older. Didn't look like it when you watched it early, but they was filling them out. Second half, coach came up with that game plan. And like after something like the 10, 12-minute mark, that thing just turned around. It just flipped the switch, Jeff. Because I remember seeing Bama money line when it was up like 4-6 points at -700. I'm like, damn. So that meant the line makers and everybody thought that Bama was going to win this game, but they made it that high. Aztecs stormed back, took the lead, never looked back, took over the game. Any last words on this game before we go to this game here that's about to be finished, 13-point lead by Miami?
I think it's very exciting that San Diego State's going to get a shot to go play for the Final Four. I hopefully we get a shot also with Creighton. People don't understand how good of a game San Diego State Creighton would be. These are two teams that were top 10 oriented before the year started, fell under the radar, never really got going. But this is going to be a superb matchup, maybe the best of the group if it occurs.
Right. Okay, now let's slide into game number 2, Jeff. Another number 1 seed getting walloped. Hurricanes up 82-69, 2:45 left. I gave out a teaser with Houston -2. I thought Houston was ready this year to go to the Final Four. I thought they had all the pieces. And the Canes I always liked the Canes, but they kind of fade in big games in the second half, unlike today, which they've been playing the whole fucking game. Salute to the Hurricanes. I mean, I'm not saying they're a bad team, but they just kind of fade. We've seen them fade a couple times this year, right or wrong.
We have. I mean, but I've also said that those senior guards with Wong, are tough. And I mean, did I see this one happening? I didn't see this one happening. But I did say before the tournament, it wouldn't surprise me if all 4 number ones went home.
Wow.
And went home early. And, a lot of prop bets supported it. So, I mean, I think that congrats to Larinaga. I mean, they're going to have a battle on their hands, whoever wins that Texas Xavier game. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, this one here, definitely what I'd say, it has to be up there, maybe the upset of the tournament.
Right.
Right. To me, this is more of an upset than San Diego State beating Alabama.
Yeah, I'm disappointed at the Cougars. I mean, I just thought they could get at least to the elite, Elite Eight, maybe even the Final Four, and to get walloped like this, I know they coach, I know their team should be disappointed, their whole organization, the school, not to continue to kind of put more weight on shit or overcook grits, but this is one of them things you kind of have to overdo because I didn't expect it. One of my boys hit me up yesterday, Big Dog. He said they were losing. So he seen something that me and you didn't see and a lot of other people didn't see. He said that Houston was going home. So that was a good play by him. And because he called it a day early. But anyway, 16 points.
I think Kelvin Sampson, to see a Kelvin Sampson team not respond, not be ready. I mean, I think maybe the thing we didn't see is maybe how big of it was Houston looking ahead to a potential 1-2 matchup with Texas, knowing they're going to the Big 12 next year, okay, with Texas going to the SEC and having that all-Texas final.
Right.
They might have caught their pants down looking ahead here. I mean, how can you take Miami seriously? The ACC was way down, even though you had a team that had been in the Final 8 last year. But, I mean, they didn't look like they were going to get there this year. So, I mean, we have to give it out there. I mean, they got their pants down in Miami, took it and took them to Tuna Town. I mean, it's that simple.
I have a game like this and then get blown the fuck out the next game. But it is what it is. Now, let's go to game 3, Jeff. It hasn't started yet. You got Princeton versus the Creighton Jays. You did say you like Creighton to cover the high point spread. I think it's most definitely going to happen now because we had 2 straight dog outright wins. So I'm not saying that automatically means that the favorite's going to win, but I just think they're going to cover the spread. Now, it gives it more power to cover the spread
right
on top of what we already spoke about. But talk to the people, explaining them why you think that the Creightons are going to be a major problem to Princeton.
Well, I can tell you this much. This is a team that has 5 starters, each one capable of scoring 20 points, okay, in a game. Not many teams in college basketball can say that. Number 2, right. Number 2, you got Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East here. He's long. I mean, Creighton is very long for what they're at. You know what I'm saying, Al? Creighton has been building. They had a time at the beginning of the year where they needed some time to gel. It didn't happen. But really, they've been, and you know this since January, I've been on Creighton. I said, this team's capable. They can shoot lights out. They got too much shooting for Princeton. Princeton doesn't have enough people to be able to guard all 5 weapons in this game.
Right. Okay, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not counting Princeton out. They play their tails off to this point. They got some guys that can shoot. But you're usually kind of good at these games when a sleeper kind of wins a couple games and kind of when they're going to hit a wall.
because you called that St. Peter's last year. You said, Al, put all your money on North Carolina first half, second half game. And my dumb ass didn't listen that time, and I had to pay for it that time. Because North Carolina definitely, what was it, 3 scoops in a cherry?
I caught 3 scoops in cherry.
Okay, so let's go to our last game before we go to the NFL and all that stuff. Xavier Musketeers and the Longhorns from Texas. Talk to us.
It's going to be tight. I mean, this is going to be the probably the best, most competitive game of the night. It's really a toss-up, but I really feel like these Texas players are playing very hard for this interim coach, who I know there's a lot of programs around the country waiting for Texas to let him go so they can hire him. Right. So, I mean, really, it's probably a topic for another day, but, you know, the University of Texas Longhorns, the board need to pull their head out of their ass, you know, and start realize they're out there trying to find, you know, the next Rick Pitino. You got a guy winning for you right now, and you're blind, you know, because he's not a big name. You're moving to the SEC, but you got a guy that's winning right now.
A lot of times people think when you got a good team, it's the team that's winning. You understand what I'm saying? But
right.
You do still got to coach him up. I mean, remember, what's his name? Is it Devin Harris or Harris that coached the Lakers? He had all those guys. They couldn't fucking win. Right or wrong?
So, right. You gotta have the talent to win. But no coach, you don't win either.
Yeah, you need the coach too. I mean, you know, you need them X and O's and big games, etc. But we're gonna learn a lot about this coach, because I think personally, if he can get him to the Final Four, that's going to speak volume of him and that institution. Well, but if he get knocked out right now, this might hurt him, believe it or not. Now, another team will pick him up. But I think this will hurt him right here.
Well, you don't think the Miami knocking off Houston puts even more pressure on this guy? Now you're the highest seed left in your pool. You know, you're in the Midwest. You don't think you're not expected to win now?
That's what I'm saying. But let's go to tomorrow's games, Jeff. It's only a couple games tomorrow. I want to start this. Okay, we're going to start. Let's just talk about the games. After we talk about it, then we kind of give what we like. Your team that you like since the beginning of the tournament, you the one that kind of gave me eyes to them. Florida Atlantic 34-3 versus the 26-9 Kansas State. This is a hell of a game, Jeff. -1.5. Kansas State 144.5. Talk to us. We're going to go back and forth on this. What's your take as far as this? You know what? Let me ask a better question. What does Florida Atlantic need to do to win tomorrow?
I think Florida Atlantic, plain and simply, needs to play its game. If Kansas State allows Atlantic to go out and do their thing tomorrow, okay, it's kind of an unusual situation. Usually it's the lower seeded team, you know, need to change the upper seeded team. But really, this here is reversed. Kansas State's going to have to change the way Florida Atlantic plays because they're so deep. They're the deeper team as Florida Atlantic, okay? From Florida Atlantic side, I mean, obviously the little point guard from New York there, you know, went off for 20 and 19 assists to break the NCAA tournament record for assists in a game. So obviously the guy is passing the ball. You know, the offense goes through him. You know, maybe what you got to do is make the offense go through a little more somebody else during that game. So maybe you need to guard him full court, pick him up a few times, you know, switch that defense up, you know, try to confuse him. The transfer from Florida Johnson's been terrific all year long. So they do have a couple shooters. You know, one of the finest coaching jobs in the country done by Tang with K-State. But same thing with the coach from Florida Atlantic, you know, Pitino disciple. So, I mean, he's the next – I guarantee he's going to have a big job here soon. You know, you go 34-3, that's the most wins in the country. And now with Houston out of the tournament, nobody's going to catch you. You know, you can win out and have the most.
Right.
So I mean, I don't look at Florida Atlantic as an underdog here, despite being a 9 seed. I think this is an even Steven game, and the team that can execute down the stretch, which obviously Florida Atlantic's done 34 out of 37 times, but you got the cat over K State, who's had the record now. It's gonna be a great game. I still think that Florida Atlantic cuts down the nets, and they go on to their first Final Four, having come into this tournament never won a tournament game before. But I like Florida Atlantic and the
You
team
like
that's
Florida Atlantic to move on.
I do.
Well, I love what they've been doing. I haven't watched much of them until the tourney. I love their style of play. It's very unorthodox. They could kind of play any kind of game. They could go 3 for 3. They could play the strong ball. But I feel there's something special going on in K-State. I seen it yesterday. It confirmed what I've been feeling. And if you notice after every game, the coach is doing something with some kind of prayer that's been working. And it's kind of hard to go against that, Jeff. Not to mention they got the point guard. They got the 2 guard that I really love who can play a little bit of forward. They got more stars on their team than Florida Atlantic. But that's not to say that Florida Atlantic is not a hell of a fucking team, because they are. They fucking amazing how they getting this shit done. I'm gonna say K-State prevails. It hurts me because I gave Florida Atlantic yesterday against a real tough Tennessee team, but I told you I did it because of the numbers and because they had a huge win against Duke that nobody and their mother was going to take Florida Atlantic after they beat Duke the way they did. Yeah, you called it. You called it when they played Duke. But what I'm saying is I'm going to say K-State prevails, bro. Now let's go to game 2 tomorrow. Another terrific matchup. I just can't wait for this shit. UConn Huskies, 28-8 versus the Gonzaga Zags. Mother 31-5. Oh my God. UConn -2, 153.5. UConn blew out Arkansas yesterday. Zags were getting blown out and came back with another second half rush like they did their prior game. They becoming like the second half kings in this tournament. It don't matter what they down, Jeff. You can spot them 20 and they'll come back on your ass. Talk to us about this game, because Timmy and company are balling. UConn, Coach Hurley, this is going to be a real good game. Give us your input on what you're thinking about this game right here.
Well, one, I'm going to give kudos to Gonzaga. They were left to dead 13 down at halftime yesterday. They come all the way to get 10 points up, and then give credit for, you have a last-second shot hit against you, and you have to turn around and our Vegas kid has hit a last-second shot for Gonzaga with 7 seconds left here to win it. So, in that perspective, it's a great homecoming for the kid. But there's been a very pro-Gonzaga crowd here. They play the tournament here every year for the West Coast Conference, so it's going to be a biased crowd for sure tomorrow. The thing that I look at here is I thought before whoever won or lost the UCLA Gonzaga game, it was going to take it out of them. I felt like the emotion of the game, the rivalry that's hit new heights between the two teams. Winner of that game was at a big disadvantage versus UConn. UConn has been statistically, metric-wise, the number 1 team in this tournament.
Right.
Both sides of the ball. Okay. Now, the one advantage that they have going against Timmy is Somanga is a beast. They also got the other 7-footer to come off the side on him. So, Timmy, if they're going to go in one-dimensional, because Timmy had 36 last night. Okay. He really had very little help in the first half. He got a little help from the kid the transfer kid who's a senior. I'm drawing a blank of his name right now, off the bench to help out. But the problem they had is that they become very one-dimensional, and I think that's going to hurt them here against UConn. I think UConn has had a chip on their shoulder. I think they're more battle tested than Gonzaga. I think the emotion of the game last night takes away from Gonzaga. So I look for UConn to move on, blowout city.
Wow. I know that UConn could present the kryptonite for this Gonzaga team. I know that. But what got me worried about this game, Jeff, it's like when a team is destined to win, I'd almost feel like the Zags are destined. Me and you and a million other people seen all these years that they've been favored to win. And they get chumped out second round, first round, third round, right or wrong. This year, I didn't hear nobody talking about them, Jeff. We spoke about that.
And for good reason, because this is not one of the better Gonzaga teams.
But when you got Timmy down there, man, that guy can do so many different things.
Yep.
Three, score either side. McKay down low, kicks it out. And if he kicks it out, these guys are hitting these shots like they did in the second half. They could beat anybody. But like I said, I think UConn could provide a kryptonite on them. I'm going to agree with you and say UConn, but this is another one that hurts me because I feel like Gonzaga got like that. They got that destiny in them. Like, this is our year. But I'm going to go with the better team UConn could just, if Gonzaga not hitting those shots, they could run them out the building like they did Arkansas. You know that, and I know that. And they will be in the game. They will not get blown out. They're either going to lose a close game or blow them out. So I'm going to agree with you with UConn, and that's basically it on college basketball. Now let's move on. Let's go on to the NFL, Jeff. I'm going to hit on a couple of topics that been overkill on TV and stuff, but I kind of want to hear from the Al York, from me and you, our perspective on these topics. We're going to go back to Jackson. Still hasn't found a home, even though they hit him with the light franchise tag, the light one. There's a light one and a heavy one. I don't want to have to go through the difference. But what the light one means is that anybody else can match and maybe even take him. What you think is going to happen with Lamar Jackson?
Well, just to make sure to explain the tag difference, it's the exclusive and the non-exclusive tag. The non-exclusive tag guarantees less money, allows teams to negotiate with the ability for the Ravens to match. If they choose not to match, they will gain 2 number 1 draft picks from the team to negotiate.
Right.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I'll be honest, I'm just tired of hearing about it. I mean, I've been hearing about it for a year and a half, 2 years. I mean, I'm sick and tired. You don't know who's telling the truth here. Lamar, you're not getting a fully guaranteed contract. Pull your head out of your ass. Ravens, it's time to wise your ass up. If he leaves, you will not be the same. You built your offense around him already.
Right.
So let's just get down to it and get this over with. That's the way I look at it. But I'm tired of hearing about it.
Okay. My next question to you, Sportsbook Jeff. Where you think outside of Baltimore is the best fit for Action Jackson?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, to me, there's an opening down in Atlanta, as far as I'm concerned. But Atlanta's already said they're not going after him. But you got a run-first coach that came from Tennessee. It'd be a real nice fit down there. They got London and tight end, or London and the kid from Florida Pitts at tight end.
They just signed Heineke. They got the young boy Ritter. That's not going to happen. That's why they signed Heineke.
That's still the best spot for them.
Like more possible. It's not possible because they just signed Heineke, Taylor Heineke from the Commanders.
Right.
Why they did that is because they're going, him and Ritter are going to battle for that number 1 spot. Where, like, for example, there's about 3 teams that he can immediately go there and be their starter. No, there's more than 3 teams, but
the deep sleeper
that really need a quarterback.
The real deep sleeper I will give you and this has not been. I mean, obviously, you want to talk about Miami. We've talked about it many times. Or you might talk about the Jets if they don't get the trade done with the Rodgers. You know, but the two deep sleeper teams have been New England and Indianapolis.
My
Um,
man just coach. My man Steve-O Islam, big Colt fan. Salute,
right.
Steve.
So, I mean, I don't know if the Colts are satisfied if they have to pick between, Levis and Richardson, say in the draft, versus Lamar Jackson. And their owner is very impatient, but he's also kind of cheap. So it doesn't sound like a move that Irsay would make, but maybe he's had enough of it. With the Patriots, I mean, I know same thing with them. Belichick loves Lamar Jackson. We had rumors of Mac Jones being traded to the Raiders here in the offseason, maybe for them to go after Lamar. I mean, I've heard that going around. So, so the way I look at it is, I mean, is there a best fit for Lamar? I don't know because, I think you have to be the run-oriented team. And I think that for me, this way I would build my own team up. I want someone that can throw the ball better than me guaranteeing $200 million to Lamar Jackson.
Right.
But that's just me.
Well, I think there's two teams that are idle for him, his style of play, and the coaches. One of them, my man Felix Giacchino said the Commanders, with Eric Bieniemy over there, he could do so many things with Lamar. He will make it a Lamar kind of offense. Eric Bieniemy is a guy that
right.
hasn't gotten much recognition with Blossom in Washington with Lamar Jackson. But the team that I think, I mentioned this to you earlier in the week, that could be a perfect fit for him. A lot of my people that like this team going to like this. Is Mike Shanahan and the 49ers, man. The 49ers, when they had Cap over there, that offense they ran, you got to understand, Garoppolo did not fit the bill, even though they still went to the championship. They still should have won the Super Bowl, Jeff. They were up 10 with 5 minutes, and he didn't even fit the offense. The kind of quarterback that Shanahan really needed, he didn't fit it because he could not really fake it and get you 8-9 yards. He could get you 3 yards. With Lamar and a Kaepernick type, now you got numerous threats. You got Debo running this way. You can fake it to Debo. You can fake the pitch to C-Mac. Lamar running up the middle for 50 yards on your ass, just like that. Or you could give it to each and every one of them. I didn't even mention Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
They get Lamar Jackson in Frisco. You better look out. I'm crowning them because I know their defense is ready. Their defense is situated offensively. And people go, yeah, but Lamar, you're real quarter. And that offense, it's going to be so many moving parts, Jeff, that when he does throw it, it's going to be nothing but one-on-one coverage. Not like when you drop back and you got to pick a zone. He's not going to be – that's why I don't see him going to the coach. Even Miami, that got all these weapons, he's going to have to drop back and become that drop-back exclusive kind of quarterback. We know he's not that. We know that. But put him in that offensive train over there in Frisco, and you see how they're going to, every year, long as he bars injury, every year they're going to be running for a chip because they are too talented over there. And if you add Lamar, championship in Frisco. Okay, let's go to my next question. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers supposed to be with the New York Jets. What's holding this whole shit up, Jeff? Talk to us.
Well, this is actually the Packers, I think, trying to give a little taste back to Aaron Rodgers to what he's given to them over the past 2 years. But it's also a deal with the salary cap. There needs to be a June 1st trade, and I think that's why they're dragging their feet. I mean, obviously, the Packers have come out and said they want a first-round draft pick minimum in the Aaron Rodgers deal, but it's really a June 1st salary cap hit they're trying to avoid prior.
Now, if you the Jets, I mean, I know the Jets are dumb enough to give a number one, but I was listening to the radio the other day, They were like, they better not give no more than a number 2 for a 39-year-old man that you don't know what to expect. Now, I'm not going to go that far. I don't think this is Brett Favre coming to the Jets. Aaron Rodgers right now still had way more ability than what Brett Favre did when he came. Brett Favre couldn't escape. His arm wasn't as strong, and he was forcing more passes than ever. I would say clearly Aaron's a better quarterback right now than what Brett Favre was when he went to the Jets. Clearly.
Well,
But,
to be honest with you, it could be worse, Al, because you might have Gandhi going to the Jets.
whatever that means. But
You know what it means. He's out there going to the dark room and everything else. Who knows? He might have to go to the light room. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's smoking that funny shit. He'd be doing all right.
okay, but one thing he got going for him, he's got his old offensive coordinator that he liked. He got his best friend receiver, best friend or second best friend. Maybe Adams was his best friend, but Lazard he loves a lot too, and also Randall Cobb that they're trying to get. Jets got a lot of young studs already. They already won him. I think this is a fit that will work because you got a team that's going to make it easy for him to come on board. The thing with Aaron, though, he's such a diva that he even can mess up a great situation. But one thing about Aaron also is when he put that helmet on, Jeff, not too many people could go out there and do it like him. Me and you stood front row and watch him do some incredible shit in freezing weather. Am I lying?
Right?
Damn near 10 degrees, this motherfucker throwing hulks out there like, whoa, like, how do you get that in this window this small? How do you get that there, Aaron? On the run. Throwing it across field that they teach you not to do that. Doing it in a window like this. So not too many people could do that, Jeff. That's why the Jets are like, we just went from Wilson to White, who's a nag. We could get the best guy that when he's tuned in could do it better than anybody. That's why they craving for this dude. They craving for Aaron Rodgers.
But I think the compromise is going to be, Al, under the radar move yesterday, the Jets traded to Cleveland the kid from Mississippi that they picked up and picked up a second number 2 pick. The writing's on the wall that I think it might be 2 number 2s that go for Rodgers. I think that's what I'm
number
saying.
2, okay, but not no number 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I would give a number 1 if me personally, yes, if I really want that quarterback, yes. But I think 2 number 2 makes sense because Aaron, if healthy, he got at least 4 years in him. Would you agree? I mean, he's in better physical shape than Tom Brady, and Brady's still going 45 plus. I mean, Aaron runs faster than him, maneuvers better than him, everything. So
we got to realize one thing: physically, he might be in better shape, but you don't know what the mental health is.
That's a great point because
Andy there might be he didn't go to the dark room
mentally, of what he's been going through. But Jeff, listen, we got about 6 minutes, 5 minutes. I know you wanted to touch up on this when I called you earlier. We're going to the MLB. We're going to mention 5 teams that have the most pressure on them to win immediately. Now, I'm going to name you 5 teams. You put them in whatever order you want. And if I'm missing one, you can replace it if you think you have to replace it.
Right.
I'm going to start off with the San Diego Padres. I mean, how much pressure can the team have? You got a payroll through the fucking roof. You haven't won shit. And if you don't win now, I don't think you ever going to win. You might be the next Cub team before you win again. This is their window right now. In the next 2 to 3 years for the Padres to try to get a World Series. You agree or you disagree?
Well, the Padres on my list would be number 4. But I mean, you got
to go down the list. Just tell me about the Padres.
The Padres, I mean, everything's there. Maybe a little bit missing in the bullpen, but I mean, besides that, everything's there. You've got a Dodgers team that really had a very subpar off year, and now injuries are adding up already with Gonsolin, with Lux. You lose Bellinger, you lose Trey Turner, you lose Justin
How,
Turner.
how do you
Okay.
know Dodgers when I said stay on the Padres?
Well, I'm trying to make the point with the Padres. Dodgers are down. This is your opportunity. I think the Dodgers are going to be down compared to the Padres. Padres need to
Okay,
put
so
their
let's
foot down their throat.
Padres to the Dodgers. Go ahead. Now you took it to the Dodgers. Go ahead.
So I mean, I don't think the Dodgers have pressure to win. I think they're probably saving up for Otani. But I mean, right now, I think for the Dodgers to take a step down, and the Padres to elevate their game this year, win the division, probably going away. I think the Padres should win 100 ball games this year.
They,
There's no doubt about it.
they should. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's two teams we cover already. Another pressure team that we both agreed upon is the New York Metropolitans. Talk to us.
Well, sure. You go out and you spend billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And you're in New York City. You got the other team being the Yankees, so you're second fiddle. You know the pressure is on. You know they'd be say, "Hey, did you spend your money wisely? Do you have enough to cover all the ends?" I mean, I still think there's questions about the pitching staff. You know, with the Mets, the starting five. I mean, it's hard to let go of DeGrom. Yeah, you're replacing Verlander, but there's a lot more wear and tear on Verlander's arm than there is DeGrom. So that's one thing you got to look at. I think too. The Mets lineup is still got to have some contact hitters get on base. You're expecting still a lot from Marte, who's getting older. You know, you asked McNeil to repeat his year. And you spend a lot of money on these guys long term. So yeah, there's a ton of pressure on the Mets to have to come in there.
The Edwin Diaz, which is huge, Jeff.
The Diaz going down. I mean, I think you can find some young buck rookie throwing 100, then come up in the minor leagues and do something, or the trade deadline, find a more proven veteran. So I think they'll be all right long term there.
Yeah,
but I think
Diaz is like one of the best closers. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. They got Robinson. They got another guy that could probably close some games,
right.
but you're not going to have Diaz is what I'm trying to say.
Correct. You're not going to have Diaz. You guys are going to be out of their roles. You have to establish new roles down that bullpen, or you're going to have to go out. And I think the owner would go out and find another closer if he needs to.
Right. Okay. Let's go to my New York Yankees. It's got to be pressure on them.
There's always pressure on the Yankees because
talk to us.
Well, sure, you got enormous pressure. You got the Mets owner putting pressure on Steinbrenner to do something. Steinbrenner didn't do enough. He went out and signed Rodon, who's down. He got Judge. Judge gave him a little bit of a discount, to stay in New York compared to some of the other contracts. But I'll tell you, the moral of the story is the Yankees did not do enough with their everyday lineup. I mean, the only chance.
I understand, Jeff. We got a lot of guys ready to come up, Jeff.
But there's a difference between a lot of guys wanting to come up.
No, we got
guys that
are ready. We just got to let them play.
Well,
we got the Martian down there. I mean, we got a few guys. Perota. We got guys that we got to put them out there and let them go through the bumps and bruises.
But from an outside point of view, I know you're a Yankee fan now, but from an outsider point of view, the Yankees always overrate their people. Always have. Okay. So until they show me, okay. Now Volpe is a guy that I'm interested in seeing.
That's another
guy.
We got Minguez.
And he's out there, but the Yankees overrate the prospects, and I think that the Yankees are actually going to take a step back this year. So yeah, there's a ton of pressure on them.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right, but see, all right is not good enough for Yankee fans or Yankee haters. It's either championship or bust, and I don't know if we're ready yet to win a championship, but I like where we going with it. Still need some pieces though, but I like where we're going with it. Okay, last but not least, the Philadelphia Phillies, and then I got to chop it up. You got 2 minutes max, because I got to have you up and do this.
Look, with the Phillies did great things over the offseason, but they're falling apart before our eyes.
Right.
I mean, you already got Harper out. Now you got Hopkins out. Hoskins. on free agent contracts, you have guys off career years. I mean, Philadelphia looks vulnerable as well. I mean, pressure-wise, I don't think there's any pressure on them, except that they spent a lot of money. They went to the World Series last year, so that takes some pressure off. But I mean, what's interesting is if I look at the National League East as a whole, you got the Mets with Diaz injury, you got the Braves who did nothing to replace Darby Swanson, and the guy they thought was going to do it, Grissom, he got sent down to minor leagues, and then you got the Phillies now. Guys getting injured before the season starts too, with Haskins, and you already had Harper down.
They all getting lumps. Mets got a lump. Phillies got a couple lumps. Braves, and we all know that they're all gonna be in contention come late in the year. That's just the way they do.
You know that, but you also know the Mets have got to overcome their demons. So it's gonna be an interesting race this year. I'll leave it at that. But number one team, I think, with the pressure that we didn't mention is the Angels.
I mean, 1 minute. You got 1 minute because I got to download this thing.
I'm just going to say real quick, if they're out of it by the All-Star break,
download this video.
If they're out of it by the All-Star break, I see Trout asking for a trade, and Ohtani will not resign. It's do or die time for the Angels. That's the team with the number one pressure.
I agree with you. Sportsbook Jeff, great job as always. Expect to hear from you a little after the show. Go back to work. We're going to talk soon. Great job, buddy.
Will do, boss. Later.
Sportsbook Jeff, let's get it, baby. Let's start the giveaway, guys. Give me a minute. Yeah, let me give you an update. 26-23, Creighton. Creighton over the Princeton. Princeton's battling like I thought. Creighton better get their stuff together because there might be a third upset if they don't. Let me turn this around. Okay, guys. Giveaway 1, round 3. We got Sportsbook Jeff with 9 wins, Tapia with 8, B4 with 7, Vega with 6, and then we got a lot of people with 5 and 4. Let the best person win. Let me put this mic on. Hold up. I knew I forgot something. Here we go. 1 through 20, let the best person win, guys. I haven't called Raul's name in a long time. For that reverse chase. Maybe you get called today. Raul, by the way, round 2 champion. Miss Jess is round 1 champion. Raul is round 2 champion. And now we seeking round 3. Here we go, guys. Shake the hell out that shit. Hold up. 1 ball. We're looking for 1 ball only. On my call. Giveaway 1, round 3. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it, baby. Here we go. The winner is giveaway 1. I know you see it because I see it, baby. I know you see it because I see it. Giveaway 1, round 3 winner is number 11. Number 11. Big Tapia. Big Tapia. That's his 9th win. Tapia's 1 win away from a dramatic comeback, folks. 1 win away. Big Tap wins round 1, guys. Now we going to round 2. Let me heavy up. I got to finish this before 60 minutes. If not, Facebook gonna hate on me. All right, hold up. Let me bring this bad boy back. Number 11, Tapia. It's your giveaway 1 winner. Number 9 for Tapia. 21 through 40. Let's get it.
21 through 40. I don't like when I do this shit here. Give it that extra marination. Here we go. One ball only. 21 through 40. Let the best person win. Got the summary coming up right after. Here we go. One ball. We got it right there. One ball, baby. One ball came out. Here we go. The winner is, for giveaway 2, round 3. 35. 35. We got my man Sinbad, baby. Sinbad. I haven't called his motherfucking name in like damn near since fucking September, I think. God damn it. Salute to Sinbad, baby. Woo! Let me move this to the side. I got like 2 minutes. Do a quick summary. Yeah, guys. Sportsbook Jack, we took care of Sweet 16. We gave you who we leaning on in the next games. We broke down Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, 5 top most pressure MLB teams who are expected to win now. The message of the day I told you, if you upset, don't bring that shit to work. Call out. Don't make it uncomfortable for everybody because your day is fucked up. That's selfish of you. That's very selfish. If you can't control yourself in an environment and hold that shit in and you want to outlast on everybody because you upset, you don't get a pass for that. People, oh yeah, but you don't know what kind of, I don't fuck what kind of day she had. Stay your ass home if you feel like that. And with that, Al York Sports, the raw truth, Raul, I'm going to put out your shit, that round 2 champion, and you got to start winning, bro. You've been laying duck eggs these last couple of weeks, but I know you will be back. Al York Sports, love y'all.